063 Marketing, Production, and Publishing.
Hoobazoo.com.
Light it up, burn it down, and turn up.
Tonight I have a really special guest, and a lot of times I like to interview. You'll start noticing as time goes on with my shows, the different kind of people I'm interviewing. I'm not just focusing on the people that are up here or down. I'm just kind of all over the place. But let me bring in my special guest, because tonight, to me, out of all the people I've interviewed over the years and the people I've met over the years, I have to say this cat is one of the most interesting guys I've ever met in my life. Everybody, meet Champagne City.
I don't know how the world do.
Yeah. Well, let me say this too, because I'm interviewing two people today. Okay, even though there's only one person, I'm interviewing two people. I'm interviewing Champagne City and Waverly Jones.
Yeah.
And who's Waverly Jones?
Waverly Jones. A lot of people, they don't really get to meet that guy. That's the government name. He a weird guy though. He a weird guy too.
Who's Champagne City then?
Champagne City, that's the one that the world know. That's everybody get to see. Champagne City tells Waverly Jones stories. That's who Champagne City is. He like the author of Waverly Jones.
Gotcha. I mean, like I said, today's show is really based about it's a story about survival. It's a story about death. It's the story about survival again. Inspiration. So there's many things that are going on in this interview, and I'm very grateful that you're willing to open yourself up for me and for the audience and people watching this today. I really think people are going to come away with a lot of shit, because everyone's watered down with what's happening online and listen to this politician, that politician. Nobody's really focused on what's really happening, and we got a guy here, and I'll back up a second. How I met Champagne City was, I was doing a gig, what was it? It was the Eminem and Rihanna after party in Detroit last year, and a mutual friend of ours, Miss LB, made a call to Champagne City and said, hey man, could you go down to this thing and help my guys? But you were telling me yesterday, and I didn't know this, she really sent you down to protect us in the beginning, make sure nothing happened to us. I was like, damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I told, like, Miss LB, shout out to Miss LB, that's my baby right there. And me and her was talking about it, and she was saying how it was a great opportunity, and like anybody, like when you care for somebody and you love somebody like I do, Miss LB, once she mentions somebody's name, then you're gonna get the same treatment, from me, and until you prove yourself otherwise. So when she said it and she mentioned y'all, I'm telling her, I'm like, well, right now Detroit kind of wild right now. They killing everybody, and like a Eminem and Rihanna concert, like that's the perfect opportunity to get somebody. Even though Trick was gonna be there, Royce 5'9", they was gonna be there, but still, like, y'all don't know Trick. You know what I'm saying? So y'all ain't gonna have the same protection. And that's where a lot of people, they come there and they prey on people. So I knew what time it was. So I told Miss LB, I said, shit, like, if it's really like that, Miss LB, I'm gonna call my people and I'm gonna have my people there, and then I'm gonna fly in town. So that's what I did. I had my people ready and I flew in town, made sure everybody was all right.
And I gotta say,
you see how I was locked on y'all. Even afterwards, I'm like, where y'all going? Y'all going here? Okay, y'all okay.
Yeah, I never put it together. I mean, because you helped out with so many different things. I didn't know the main reason why you first came down was for protection. I wasn't even thinking that. So that blew my mind when you told me yesterday. But I got to tell you about that one particular gig. Like you said, it was sold out both nights. It was pretty wild and crazy. The place is right across the street from where they were performing 2 nights in a row. And to me, out of all the, we did a bunch of radio interviews on FM stations with Roysta and all these other people, and met all these people, Trick, all these people. But to me, and it was an incredible experience, but to me, no experience was better than the experience of meeting you, buddy. And I don't know what happened between you and I, but we kind of connected at that moment. And, all the other bullshit hoopla was aside, real people came together. And for that, I'm very grateful. And, from that experience, I also got to know you on a personal level a little bit. And to me, I've heard a lot of stories over the years, City, and I'm always fascinated by the stories of survival and everything else. And to me, your story is amazing. And listen, if there's any question, because you told me before, I can ask any question I want. And I said, what if I ask about a certain thing? You said, I'm smart enough to know to get around it. And so I appreciate your honesty, because you really are opening yourself today with this interview. And I'm not sure if you're not one to spread your news like this. So to me, I really appreciate it. And I really believe at the end of the day, this interview is going to do good and help people in a positive manner. I do believe that. So being that said, you're cool with everything?
Oh yeah, I'm good with it. I told you, Mike, Mike, you my people, man. You ask and I will tell.
Yeah, because like I said, you have inspired me. I tell your story because there's a lot of people fucking complaining about all kinds of bullshit in life. You know, my producer calls it white people's problems. You know, I'll come up and complain about something real stupid, and he'll be like, "That's white people's problems, Mikey." But you know, a lot of people complain about a lot of shit around you. So when I hear something really negative, from time to time, I pull up your story and put it. And every single time I pulled up your story, for whatever reason, it has put them back on track. So you know, being all that said, City, I want to start right from the beginning, because there's also a lot I don't know about you, and I'm very fascinated about you because, again, you've led a pretty wild life, and there's still no ending to this. There's still a lot of wildness left, you know what I mean? And growing and spiritually and everything. So, you know, take us right from the beginning, like, what is Champaign City? Well, now we're going to be checking out Waverly Jones, because Champaign City hasn't been born yet, correct?
Correct.
All right, so let's hear. I mean, you know, were you born and raised in Detroit? You know, family. You know, what was going on as a kid?
Believe it or not, I always ask my mama, could I tell the story of how, you know, things happen, and the story goes like, you know, my mom, she grew up, you know, in New Orleans, you know, the Magnolia Project. She was a project girl. You know, lived in Jersey, you know, ended up in Pontiac, you know what I mean? And she just, you know, she was raised rough, very fucked up, you know what I mean? My grandmother, she was like one of the last slaves, you know what I mean? So my mom, she grew up, you know, under a woman who couldn't read or write. Like, I remember we used to have to, you know, tell our grandmother how to spell our name, like, consistently. So, like, if she giving us, like, a card for a birthday, or she giving us a card for like Christmas or just anything, we had to tell her how to spell our name to put it on, you know, to put on the cards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, when you grow up like that, you just you do whatever for money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like I used to tell my mama, like, I don't fault you for what you did to get money, because you only gonna do what you know what to do.
Yeah.
So I ended up being born in Lansing, Michigan, because my mother, she was on a run from a robbery, and she was like, I mean, she was a heroin addict, you know what I mean, smoke.
In front of you, with like when you guys were kids, you know?
No, well, I'm telling the story before I was even born.
Okay.
You know? And so like, well, she was on heroin, super heavy, you know, smoke, you know what I mean, weed, crack, you know, she just partied, just, you know, anything to help ease, as she told me. So I think she was like, she was going through some pain or whatever in her side, and she told me that my Uncle John, God rest his soul, you know, he was shooting her to the hospital. She said he had like a brand new Cutlass at the time, and he kept saying, you know, bitch, you better not pee in my car. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, like we laugh at it, but she was like, he was serious, but he was goofy like that. Like, bitch, I don't give a fuck how much pain you in. You know, bitch, you better not pee in my car, because she kept saying it felt like I gotta pee, it felt like I gotta throw up. Well, when she got to the hospital, you know, that's when she found out she was pregnant. She was close to 8 months pregnant, and it was a boy, and it was me. Wow. You know what I mean? So she didn't even think she can even have children. So I mean, she already had 2 brothers. You know what I mean? So she didn't think she could ever get pregnant again. So, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, kind of like a miracle baby. You know what I'm saying? I was born dead. You know what I mean? They got me back together. But believe it or not, I was still born healthy. You know what I mean?
But she was addicted on drugs at that point when you were born, correct?
Yeah, but she told me when she found out that she was pregnant, she stopped doing drugs. But you know, up until close to 8 months, she was a avid heroin user every day. You know what I mean? That's why, like, some of my rhymes, I say I'm a heroin baby and stuff like that. But she stopped. You know what I mean? I still was born, 9 pounds 11 ounces. You know what I'm saying? So I was just born solid. You know what I mean? My mom, that's why she always said, I knew you was born to be, you couldn't be broke. She said, because even when you was developing, you couldn't be broke. She said, because heroin, if she didn't give a fuck, she like, heroin was good. She said it was good back then. It was strong back then. She said, for you to survive that shit, I knew you couldn't be broke.
But to me, how amazing, to me, and see, now some people may look at this and say, what the fuck? How could a woman do this, right? I look at it like, how amazing of your mother to tell you this stuff when she didn't have to. And she was telling you for a reason. And to me, that's pretty amazing. I mean, at the end of the day, she didn't have to tell you anything.
But you can't hide shit from your children.
Right.
Well, people always say, my child ain't old enough to know shit. Like, you don't know that. You know what I mean? Like, especially this day and age, children are very intelligent. And they can take a lot because they seeing a lot.
Yeah.
So it's better for somebody that they trust and they care to hear the fucking truth. Like, I think I know for a fact the reason why I am is because of my mama. She never she ain't hide shit from sex, drugs, guns. Like, she told me, she was like, growing up, I watched you. She was like, you was, just like I was telling you yesterday. I tell a lot of people this story. When I was growing up, I was soft. You know what I'm saying? I had a motherfucking kitty cat named Mike Tyson. That was my baby. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson just snuck out, right? And for like 2 days, I cried for like 2 days because, you know what I'm saying, my cat was gone. You know what I'm saying? That was my baby.
I just can't picture you.
Man, fucking brother won't leave that shit alone. He always bring that shit up. But I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? That was my baby. I cried over that cat, man. I love that cat. You know what I'm saying? He came back though, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like to me, I felt like I was soft, but I wasn't really soft. It was just I was just in my feelings.
Yeah.
Some dudes they afraid to let their feelings be shown, but shit, I was in my feeling and I just was showing them, you know what I mean? But so, like my mom said, 5th grade, she like, nigga, it's gonna be over for you.
Now you were crying on the bus and stuff, were you? At the school bus?
I was crying on the bus and everything, man. I'm telling you, I remember. I can't think of the teacher, but the teacher, she walked me down to the office cause I was just bawling. I wanted my fucking cat, and it was like, and I'm telling them like, it ain't cause I'm feeling weak, but I'm fucking angry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like somebody took some shit from me, and to this day, I don't play that you taking shit from me. Like, that shit hits me hard.
Well, how about this then? So you're born, what was going on with your mom at that point? Like, did she have other kids right after that? Or did she wait a while? I mean, what was going on? Was she cleaning up at this point?
I'm the last of the two. You know what I mean? When she had me, she ended up getting picked up. They ended up catching her eventually. You know what I mean? She did a little prison time. And we stayed with my grandmother for a minute, but then the way society was fucked up back then, they said because my grandmother wasn't smart enough to raise 3 children, even though she, raised all the children in the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we went to foster homes and shit like that until my mama came home.
So it was you and 2 brothers?
Yeah, we spaced out. I got a brother that's 20 years older than me. So he was pretty much, doing his own fucking thing, but he always took care of us. Like, the people, foster homes that we was in, the people let him come visit us, let him come pick us up and shit like that.
Wow. So, but is your mom, is she still messed up on drugs and stuff at this point, or? No,
my mother, she passed away last January.
No, I don't mean at this moment. I mean back then. I'm still back in the day. Because I'm gonna be growing. I'm gonna lead up to as time goes on. I'm leading up to where you're at now.
Because she went to prison. I don't know what she did in prison, But when she came home, she kind of was like, just stuck to weed. And like, you know, she used to smoke cool cigarettes. I don't even know if they make them no more. I ain't even seen them.
I think they do. I've seen them.
Yeah, so she was like a cool smoker, and you know, she just drunk like beer, you know, Crown Royal. But I never seen her do, you know. Oh, you know what? I take that back. What I'm talking about now is like when she came home from prison.
Right.
This is what she was doing. But you know, eventually after that, she did, you know, indulge back in the heroin. You know what I'm saying?
How old were you at that point?
Probably like 10, 11.
So you were old enough to know what was going on at this point.
Yeah, yep.
So what was your thoughts behind when you were seeing all this stuff going on? What was going on through your head?
I thought it was regular life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes people hear like other people's stories about how rough they grew up. People don't understand that as a kid, you don't think there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
You think that's how life is. You know what I mean? Especially like when everybody around you is living like that. What you see on TV, you don't fathom that it's really life like that on TV. You just think it's life like how it is right now.
Most people are watered down with TV. They don't understand the real life shit. It happens every day. They just have an idea, but they really don't know, because that true story is never really told often. You know what I mean? And so at this point though, so you know, when she would, let's just fast forward to this. When you would do something at this point, say you did something wrong, how would she correct you?
She'd beat the shit out of me.
And that was that. No matter what she was doing in her life, she knew what she was doing wrong. She knew, but she only cared about what you were doing wrong.
I mean, to be honest with you, once I got to 5th grade, I was out of control.
Right.
She didn't know how to tame me. It's like my grandmother used to beat her. So it's a generation thing. It takes the parent to understand what they need to change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she just didn't know at the time. I thank her for it though. You know what I mean? Because like the way she did discipline us, it was very fucked up. You know what I mean? But she don't know no better. But it never stopped anything.
You know what I'm saying? Could you give us an example, or you don't want to go there?
You said what?
Could you give me an example, or you don't want to go there?
Like, you know, shit, extension cords, you know what I mean? When you about to get in the shower, I remember one time I was getting in the shower and she just came in with an extension cord swinging that bitch, you know what I mean? Because, you know, back then they used to say, you know, all else fails, take the extension cord to your kid. They'll learn then. That didn't teach me nothing.
Yeah.
See, I'm a person, I thrive off anger. I gotta have a lot going on. I gotta have a lot of pressure to work. So, you know, as a young boy, you don't really know that that's how you motivate it. So anytime my mom whooped me or beat on me, it thrived me. I instantly went to the streets with it. And
right.
So that's how, like, when 6th grade come around, I caught my first dope case. You know what I'm saying? And then when I was...
Were you like 12?
Well, how old is you? Yeah, because, yep, I was 11 and a half going on 12. Because my birthday's in June.
Okay.
So I was still in school when when I caught the case. So I was 11 and a half, and you know what I mean, that's when I caught my first dope case.
You must have really got the shit bit out of you that day.
Nah, she was because it was more or less trying to just save me.
Right.
Because Deanna Walker, I'll never forget her, she told on me, you know what I mean? We was getting in line to go to lunch. I put my fucking jacket on and like some baggies fell out. And I never forget, Deanna Walker pointed to the floor like, Miss Phillips, look what Waverly dropped. Man, when I'm telling you that instant feeling of you got a shit hit me, Lord, I thought I was fucking gangster. But when Deanna said that shit to Miss Phillips, man, I was about to shit on myself. Hey, yo, word is boss. Hey, yo, I swear. Hey, listen, I'm talking about sweat was coming. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you. And at that time I was in some shit. But that right there, that shit froze me. I literally was just holding on to my jacket like this shit was about to. So that shit didn't go away, nigga. I still remember when we went to lunch. I'm talking to my brother Jonah, and I'm like, Jonah, yo, Deanna just told on me, man. They found the dope, and Jonah like, yo, just run. And I'm like, nah, they ain't say nothing. I'm thinking like it ain't right. Nothing gonna happen. Man, as soon as I got back from recess, man, it was an officer waiting on me. And do you know, they didn't give a fuck about me. They wanted my brothers.
Really?
They literally, like, when they sat me down in the office, Man, I wish I knew what we knew now, cause we could have sued their ass. They sat me in the office with the principal. They ain't called my mama or nobody. You know what I'm saying? And they literally had a map of where my brother was at. It was like a strip, right? And my brother them had apartments and like houses set up on a strip. I could talk about it because they've been retired damn near 15 years, but they got like apartments and shit like this, right? And it was a store. The police didn't know where they was at. Do you know they told me we can make this go away? We just want to know where your brother and them, which ones they be in.
At 12 years of age, they're already trying to get you to snitch.
This is the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 11 and a half going on 12. Then I was taught, I didn't say shit, man. I grabbed the paper and, you know, try to rip it up. Like, that's all it was just a defense.
Right.
Like, I felt like I had to protect my brother. Then that's when I tried to run. But the police snatched me up. And, you know, they kept me in juvie till my mom came and got me. But, you know, it was just a defense mechanism. Like, yo, I'm not telling on my brother. You know, like, what the fuck? And they was just like, yeah, your brother this. They naming off my brother name, my brother associate's name. Like, they was just naming off. They was naming off all their names. And so now they didn't play their cards. So when I'm in juvie, they not even trying to let my mama come pick me up. They steady trying to question me. You know, they didn't really beat me up, but they like tossing me around and shit, like trying to scare me. But they don't know, man. I already went through crazy shit.
So who got you into selling? Like how did you get into selling weed? You just were you hanging around with the wrong people? I
was selling weed. I was selling crack.
So it's crack.
Yeah.
So how does someone come to a 12-year-old and say, hey, could you sell this for me?
Because I got it. They don't give a fuck who they get it from.
Right. I was care about getting paid.
Yeah, when I say I'm a Pearl Street hustler, I was on Pearl Street. Pearl Street was the hottest block. It was all prostitutes just walking up and down that street.
And what were you doing with the money that you were making?
Man, blowing it on like Little Debbie cakes and shit. Like, I wasn't making a killing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My thing was like my brothers, they didn't influence me really on selling dope. I used to just steal their dope. They used to have so much dope and so much money. I be just taking their money, you know, like we ain't had no guidance.
Yeah. Were you doing this stuff at the same time as you were selling, or you just sold it?
I just sold it. Nah, I ain't never do crack and no shit like that. But we was smoking weed and drinking Crown Royal. We did what we can get our hands on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like other dudes in the hood, they did heroin and shit. I ain't get into that. Cause I seen how they just be sleepy, and I wanted to be giggly and eat a lot. So that's why I smoked weed, and alcohol made me jokey and laugh and shit. Cause other than that, I was always angry all the time.
Yeah. Were you at this point in your life, were you like placing blame in others and rebelling, or were you looking at it like it was a race thing? I mean, what was going through your head that was making you?
Nothing. Just wanted to. We ain't had no food in the house. I just wanted to eat.
Right.
I ain't think about nothing.
So you were just doing it to survive. You weren't doing it to anything
I didn't
else.
even think I was. To be honest with you, I don't think I was doing it to survive. I was just eating.
Right.
I knew you sell crack, you get money. And I just knew that shit, you know what I mean? And so I did it. I know you go in stores, you steal, you gonna eat. I know you breaking people's houses, you can get shit to sell, you gonna eat.
Yeah.
And you get clothes. So we didn't have clothes, you know what I'm saying? We didn't eat. Electricity be, cut off, you know what I mean? Like my mind got bad for a moment at one time. You know what I'm saying? So shit. We just did it. Like
your brothers were doing the same things, just on higher levels.
Wasn't even really around like that.
But were they doing stuff like that just on higher levels, or you don't even know? You weren't paying attention to anyone other than yourself.
No, like I knew my brothers was doing stuff, but they so much older than me. So like the only time I even got to really get busy is like if they came by the house and they was cooking their dope up or some shit like that. Like if they drying it or whatever, they had a little certain spot where they dried it at. They did I was so young, they didn't think I was on top of my game. Like these boys, my brothers and them didn't even know that I was doing anything until they had to come get me from juvie. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but once they found out, were they like, all right, listen, we got a new partner here, or were they like,
nah, they
kicking your ass?
They just thought it was they just didn't pay no attention. They was already in too deep. You ain't have time for no little kid, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like they come through, give me money, or you know they'll buy food sometime, but you know what I mean. They didn't know how I was doing it because they was going state to state doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? And when they come in town or some shit, my mama be acting like she clean or whatever, and I wasn't gonna tell on my mama. So
yeah.
You know.
Well, listen, City, we're gonna take a short music break here because I want to get back on this because we really are. You know, I'm asking a lot of questions, but it's really leading into something, and I don't know how long this is gonna take, but this is some really good shit we're getting into here. But the music break we're taking is this artist who goes by the name of Champagne City, and the track is "Break My Heart."
Let your mind be the guidance.
Right before I met you, I wasn't looking for no one. That's when you came upon me, had my heart high like the sun. Then I fell in love, and you loved me too. But from my past trust issues, I was worried about you. You want me to trust you, but how can I trust you? And I don't know the first thing about that. There's so many questions, but how can I ask them? Messing with my heart, I just get it back. I just wanna love you, baby. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna be the only one, baby. Please don't break my heart. I'm not sure if everything is fine, but all I want you to do is to help me realize that you'll be there, baby, when there's doubt in my mind. So when I'm in need of you, please be by my side. Want me to trust you, but how can I trust you? And I don't know the first thing about that. There's so many questions, but how can I ask them? Messing with my heart, I just get it back. I just wanna love you, baby. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna be the only one, baby. Please don't break my heart.
Baby, you the finest pink diamonds for my kindness. Skip the candlelight, we gon' fly into the sunset. Champagne bottles gotta chill when the jet set. Only thing I ask when we fly, just enjoy it. Strawberries dip, lick your lips before you eat that. Ecstasy awaiters, we gon' backstroke in it. Milan is the perfect place to get your hair done. In that jet black sand, we can practice for the sun. It's me and you, baby, that's more than number one. Why you think everybody steady talking about us, huh? Cause they wish that they can have what we share up in the lab. What's that combination two? It just equals more math. Dad, why I'm talking like that? This is real love, baby, you can feel it off the pad. I promise one thing, you would never see sad. If I promise two things, you'll be meeting my dad.
You want me to trust you, but how can I trust you? And I don't know the first thing about that. There's so many questions, but how can I ask them? Messing with my heart, I just get it back. I just wanna love you, baby. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna be the only one, baby. Please don't break my heart.
Right, we're back to the Mike Fiore show with Champagne City, aka Waverly Jones. And that was a track you were just listening to by Champagne City, Break My Heart. That was awesome, that's all I gotta say, because I could feel your spirit in that track. What's that?
Featuring Nefertiti Lewis.
Yes, that was killer.
Sing.
So I'm gonna get back on
Rick Ross.
I want to get back on track because we're definitely going to focus on the music during this interview, okay? Because that is, listen, that's one thing that bonded us together too. So, you know, so we left off you getting busted with crack in school, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, at the age of almost 12, not quite 12. Now after this point in stage, you know, like when you were going through all this stuff, like did you pick up your game more and start pedaling more? I mean, you know, you got caught. You got scolded, punished, whatever it was, you know, what was happening after that? Did you feel like because you got away with it, you want to pick your game up more, or what was going on?
Nah, I just, man, you a kid. You don't think that far. You just doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just got in a bigger trouble. Like, once I got locked up and I seen that it wasn't shit, I kind of wasn't really scared of getting locked up.
Was
Like,
everybody around you doing the same thing? Like people you knew, not necessarily you hung with, but everywhere you were looking. Is this what the streets of Detroit were all about at this time?
Yeah, street. I mean, it was just going on. I mean, that's just what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Then I was actually in Jackson at that time, but then I went back to New Orleans, and in New Orleans at 13, that's when I caught my murder case as a child.
Wow. How old were you at this point?
13.
So you're only going a year later down the road.
Yeah. Everything just escalated fast.
So, I mean, were you scared at all? Or did you not, like at this point in life, you're just not giving a shit. You're just doing what you want to do and all you know.
Yeah, you just doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like it ain't no, it wasn't me trying to be gangster. It wasn't me trying to be streets. I'm just adapting and just going with what's going on.
Yeah. You weren't trying to impress anybody. This is the way you were living, period.
Yeah, I was just trying to eat. I didn't know anything about trying to impress anybody though.
Yeah.
Nobody was trying. I'm gonna say it like this. It sounds like I'm saying big shit, but it wasn't big because that's what was going on. But the biggest shit to me was us stealing bikes at that time. Like we was the king of stealing bikes. We was literally going to like hardware stores, stealing the little lock clamps, and going like climbing fences. You know, climbing up the second story patios, clipping bikes and shit, and like handing them down. Like that right there, that was us, you know, trying to get props. Like the other shit, we didn't know that was us getting props. We didn't think like that.
Also, at this point, have you seen other people been murdered yet at this point in your life?
Nah, like the first time I seen somebody get murdered probably was right before I killed the guy. It was in New Orleans, and it was, you know, just this regular street shit. The guy just came up and just killed them, and you know, it was kind of freaky, but you know, it wasn't really. I mean, it wasn't really shit. I mean, as I said, like shit don't hit you. It's just like a movie.
It didn't faze you. This was normal for you.
No, well, not seeing somebody get killed, that wasn't normal for me at that time. But like my incident was me being scared. Like we was still trying to get a little money, and it was just a dude who just robbed people. And you know, that's how I even really got off the case as good as I did, because the guy that I killed was just a bully in the hood. I mean, he was just a bully. You know, he was an older man, did plenty of time in prison. He was known for knocking people out and taking their money, and he was, you know what I'm saying, he was known for killing people, and he just got caught slipping. You know what I'm saying?
So when this happened, I mean, did you feel any remorse, or were you like this fucker had it coming to him? I mean,
I was scared.
Right.
I was just scared. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's why I said, like at the time, I wasn't no fighter. Like I wasn't in the streets physically trying to fight nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't into that. I was into like picking something up, trying to stab you or hit you. Like I shied away from any type of physical fist-to-fist confrontation or wrestling.
Right.
I wasn't about that. I was a little guy, you know what I mean? I was real skinny. I was a little guy, so when I shot my man, it was just out of pure fear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So after this happened, you got locked up for a while, right? How long do you think you did at this age of 13?
I only did a couple of months.
So when you got out, what was your thought process at this point?
I was on some G shit then.
Because now you thought, look, everyone knew I killed, I don't know if this is what you're thinking, but everyone knew I killed somebody. They also knew I did time. They also knew I beat this case. So what were people, how did you get off on how people were seeing you at that point? Like, did it make you
I got shit back up north right after that, because they were scared for me. So I ended up getting shit back up north. And then, you know, I started going back to school. Then I got caught with a gun in school and got put out of school again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what was going on. I just was just going through the maze. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I was just on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I just thought I was gangster at that time.
And how old were you with getting caught with the gun? Now, are you still 13?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, because I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Listen, I was raised in a decent neighborhood. Like, my parents were on top of shit. Like, it's hard for me to wrap my head and I'm sure there's a lot of people, it's hard for them to wrap their heads around shit like this. Like, I thought the things that I was doing at 13 years of age were crazier than most. So, you know,
it's different. This is different areas got what's crazy.
Yeah.
Certain areas, like, you gotta think, like, when I went to Haiti to go visit my family, it was young boys. Nah, fuck that. I ain't even gonna say Haiti. In New Orleans right now, I got cousins 14, 15 years old, killing is natural. Getting killed is natural. You know what I mean? It's just your area you grow up where people, I mean, that's just what happened. It's fucked up it's fucked up that this shit is in America, but you know, America blind to the fact of what really goes on in the hood.
Yeah.
Like, nobody want to live like this. Like, I didn't want to live like that. You know what I mean? I ain't got no mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sleeping in cars and shit, sleeping at people's houses, trying to get money, and you know what I mean, trying to feed myself. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to do that shit.
Did a lot of people know, you know, what was going on in your life, or was everything very private?
It was private to a lot of people. A lot of people thought I had a good life, but you know, my brother Jonah, he ain't my blood brother, but he's my brother. He the one that was, you know, we grew up together. We linked up like through everything.
Right.
He was going through the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was nice. Sometimes we didn't have electricity, so he'd come sleep with me. You know what I'm saying? Cause we didn't have electricity. Like, he protected me, and when they don't have electricity, I go over there and I protect him. We robbed together. We sold dope together. We fucked bitches together. You know what I mean? Like, that was our survival, was each other.
Was there any people in your life at this point, outside of your family and stuff, that people, you know, were trying to step in and save you, or trying to, you know, inspire you? Did you have role models at this point in a positive way?
Anybody that was getting money was positive to me.
But there wasn't the priest down the road, or the principal at the school. You don't know that
that's positive, though.
What's that?
You don't know that that's positive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At this time, only thing you know is positive is what's good for you. And anybody that can help you eat and shit was positive. Shit, I thought all the prostitutes that I was cool with was positive, you know what I mean? Because they would help a nigga eat. Wow. You know what I'm saying? They would look out for us and shit, you know what I mean? Like, but you know, at the time we was bugged out. You know what I mean? Like 7th grade, I'm snorting powder and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I said. Like 5th, 6th grade, I started doing acid. You know what I mean? We used to pull our eyes, put our eyelid back, and put like a patch on the side of our eyelid so the acid to hit us harder. You know what I mean? So we was just bugged out. Damn. You don't have no mama. Like, every now and then, like, my mama be off her trip. You know what I mean? She would come get me. Now, I ain't gonna say like she just all the time forgot about me. Yeah, she definitely come get a nigga, you know, find out where I'm at, snatch a nigga up and all that shit. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, would she come snatch you up? What would you guys do together at that point?
Man, you know, she probably fucked me up because she done heard some shit, and you know what I mean? Like, and you know what's so crazy? Through all of this shit I'm saying, besides my mom beating me, you know what she used to make us do? What? She used to make us write essays. She used to find a topic. I'm talking about a straight hairline addict. Right. Drugged out, will still fight. Because she said no matter what, you got to be mentally smart in anything that you do. And she hammered that shit on her. So even though she'd whoop us and do all this crazy shit, she'd make us write 2-page essays, man. Literally, 2-page essays. And she would fucking correct them. She would literally say, where did you find this information at? She would go to the information to make sure that we didn't write it word for word. And she would either make us redo it all over again or shit like that. Like, this is what, all through everything that I'm doing, this is what she made us do.
I would love to see those essays. Are they still around?
Man, I ain't no telling where that shit at.
Yeah, and I don't want to confuse anybody at home, because City's not here boasting about anything he's done. He's just telling a story how it was. There's no bragging. There's no boasting. None of that bullshit. What we're trying to get at is a beautiful story coming down the road. Mm-hmm. That's all we're trying to accomplish here. So at this point, you're still, you're 13 still? Yeah. So 13 going on, I mean, you know, what's happening when you get into high school? Like, did you even go to school at this point?
A little bit. 8th grade, I ended up going to this Catholic school was accepting this.
Take your time, man.
I was just thinking about my nigga Jonah. Now like in 8th grade, they had like this program for kids who didn't who ain't really had much. And they was like accepting them into this Catholic school and shit. So I had went to this Catholic school called St. Joseph. And things was a little bit better, you know what I'm saying, around that time. But me and Jonah, we was in front of gyms, and they was like, it was a house party. So me and Jonah, we went to gyms. We had, stole some Mad Dog and some Wild Irish Rolls and shit.
That's a bad combination.
Man, that's a fucking crazy combination. But like, that's the only thing you can kind of steal out of stores at the time. And when we was walking to the party, like we seen like people, running from it. You know what I mean? We was confused and shit. But everybody just running everywhere, they screaming and shit. And we kind of heard a few gunshots. And I'm telling John, I'm like, damn, our brothers is supposed to be at this party. So we run into the party and shit. And this one white dude, I ain't know him, but he was like running across the street, holding like both of his ears or whatever. He ended up getting shot. It went from like underneath his earlobe all the way through and came directly underneath the other earlobe. He ended up surviving and shit. And we on some wild shit. Like, we ain't had no guns or nothing, but we was just on some, trying to grab people like, where my brother at? Where Shaft at? Where Timmy at? Whatever. And they screaming like, they killed Shaft, they killed Timmy, them my brothers. So like when we ran in the house or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like I just seen my brother just laying there, you know what I'm saying? Like gassing for air shit. It was fucking crazy. You know what I mean? That's when like the I don't give a fuck about nothing.
Right.
That's when that shit kind of kicked in.
Things shifted at that point in your life.
It did.
I mean, and Joan is your brother as well, right?
He ain't my biological, but he my brother.
He was the guy who was coming and comforting you from time to time when you needed it.
Yeah. We was everything.
So I can't imagine witnessing that. How old were you at this age?
I was 13. I was in 8th grade.
Well, I would say this, and I think it's safe to say this for a lot of people, right? Even to this point, and you're not even done with a lot of crap, but even at this point, at 13 years of age, most people have already given up in life. No doubt about it. I don't know how most people could even survive that experience, like you said, from your mother, from school, crack, murder. You know what I mean? And now you're just getting fucking warmed up. You've already done time at this point. Now after seeing that, you're just getting warm up to what's about to come, right?
I mean, like, I can say that now, but I just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. I mean, so at the end of the day, what happened after that? Like when you said you're ready to get going, like, how financially were you getting by just from selling drugs and robbing and stuff, or was it one or the other? Or?
No, we was doing everything. We was doing everything to get money. You know what I mean? But then after my brother Timmy got killed, you know what I'm saying? It really got fucked up because then like none of my brothers came around. All my older brothers, they just didn't come around no more because it was just a hot situation. It was just all fucked up. So then it was just me and Jonah all the time, and shit. At that point, we really didn't give a fuck. We was ready to up the annex on everything.
So you were getting adrenaline rushes from doing a lot of this stuff too, I would imagine, right?
Everything was anger. Like at the time, I didn't know that I was working off anger.
Right.
I mean, I just thought it was just me doing what I do, just because what was going on. But everything was just anger.
How old do you think you were at the height of, let's say, robbing and drug use or selling drugs? How old were you when you really came at the height of things? Because we already know you were 16.
Early 20.
So early 20. I mean, are you at this point also? Are you? I mean, are you fronting in front of people like? Because I gotta imagine there's all kinds of stuff going on inside of your head. But when people see you visually, is there a big front going on, or just you were numb to everything and didn't know you weren't fronting nothing? It was just it is what it is.
Man, we was always taught to stay away from everything. People barely seen us. If you seen me, because you seen me in school.
Right.
Other than that, you ain't never seen me.
So you had just only select few friends that you would consider close, and the rest were just people that seen you or you seen, and that was it.
Yeah.
So you really, because I know, like, when I started fucking up in life, there was people sitting there saying, Mikey, you got to stop doing that. Mikey, you got to do something different. I had those people in my life. Now, I didn't listen to them for the most part, but I had them in my life. You didn't have one person saying that shit to you, did you?
No, I ain't gonna say I had one person. Like, you know, around that 8th grade era, that's when my brother James Stanley, his mama, she stepped in heavy, you know what I mean, and she had me start staying over there at their house and stuff. You know, they had a little better situation at their house, you know what I mean. They had a house, and you know, they had food, and you know what I mean, she used to do things, but you know, at that time wasn't nobody trying to live like that.
Yeah.
That shit was kind of corny to me, you know what I mean? But they used to be like James Stanley. He was the one who always was kind of like, man, you need to do this, you need to do better, you need to. But man, wasn't nobody trying to hear that shit.
Yeah, because you're not even doing any of this for street cred. Like some people do it for street cred. They want to be seen doing certain things, and you don't even give a fuck about that.
Nah.
I mean, that's wild to me. Like I said, you and I have talked in the past, but there's a hell of a lot I haven't known. I just knew that there's a special individual lying within inside you. And, you know, those are the kind of things I'm trying to, you know, at some point we're going to get to this part. So I don't want this, you know, I don't want everyone, you know, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, because that's not the picture we're trying to paint. We're trying to paint a real picture of a real person, you know, a person of true feelings. You know what I mean? And I said that to you, something about true feelings before, and you corrected me on saying true feelings.
No, I'll correct you on real.
On real, I said, yeah, real shit.
You was like, man, you a real person. And I'm like, nah, I'm not real. I'm pure.
Yeah?
I'm pure. I'm capital P, capital U, capital R, capital E. I'm pure. Like that real. I was talking to these young boys, because I still talk to young boys on the block and, you know, try to get them to do other things. And I tell them, you know, I had to understand that what they consider real in this day and age is they real, and it's they reality. Just like it's they hip hop. Like you know, my hip hop and they hip hop is different. You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like the signs of the times. You either with it or you ain't. I mean, I ain't with that shit. So you know, I had to let people know, like, shit, I'm pure. What you see is what you get. I ain't hiding nothing, and I ain't gonna hide nothing from nobody.
I mean, also, you know, a lot of these kids these days, they think a certain way because they've learned it from the TV. They're not really living it. And to me, that's some fucked up shit, because there's people that actually live this shit like yourself. And, you know, I think like even racism these days, to me, people really don't know true racists that are born in this day and age compared to when we were kids. You really seen some real fucked up shit with racists when we were kids compared to nowadays. You know, was race in your mind, was excuse me, was race playing a part in any of this shit at all when you growing up in your head personally? Man,
I ain't even, let me see, the first time, even when I was at that Catholic school, it was only 2 black people. I ain't even I don't think I seen racism then.
Right.
Because they was just so intrigued about the inner city kid who's at our school. They just wanted to know what was going on. You know what I'm saying?
So you weren't sitting there saying, you know, blaming white people for all your problems and whatever it may be. You were just, like you said, you were just living life the only way you knew how to survive.
Yeah, I didn't blame nobody for shit. I wasn't even thinking about my father. You know what I'm saying?
Where is your father this entire time?
Man, that motherfucker, wherever he at. My father was a pimp, so he was just wherever the fuck he was at. You know what I'm saying? I remember he came to see me 2 times when I was in 6th grade, because he had to come get me one time when I got locked up. And then I seen him in 9th grade when I caught my last dope case.
I mean, how many cases? Like at this point, you had a dope charge, you had a murder charge, and now another dope charge.
Those was all children. Those was all children cases. Those all got sealed. But when the one in the 9th, that was like on my adult record.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
As far as me as an adult on that one, they wasn't even supposed to.
Did anyone ever come up to you and say, "Man, yo, good for you, man. You did, you know, you're the shit for doing this," and were people around you encouraging you? I know they weren't trying to help you, but were they encouraging you as well? Or did you stay away from those guys?
I mean, I had, you know, my little clique, that I was with, like, it was funny because in our clique, I was just really the only one that was just out here getting, you know, just doing stupid shit. But everybody else was actually going to school, playing sports and shit, you know what I mean, getting good grade. We was called the ESP. We was East Side Players, man. All we did was got fresh, fuck hoes, and shit like that. But It was just me and, you know, when Jonah got out of school, we was doing our thing. We was on some other shit.
And there's also, at this time, I can imagine there is a ton of poverty going on around you at the same point. I mean, you ain't the only kid on the block doing this.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're surrounded by, were you in this isolated part in the city?
Nah, it was just shit just going on. I don't even know if it was isolated, man. I was moving everywhere. We was in city to city, man. We wasn't just in one place. We was doing everything everywhere.
Wow. Well, listen, we're going to take another music break and get right back onto it now. Again, this artist we're about to play, Champagne City, the track is called Bring It Back.
Bit of money while you poppin' on me, mommy, and a little rose. Steady pouring while we throwin' with that way to have, baby. Need 100 more bands, cause we going to the end till the lights come on. We gon' stay in our sun with that 707, cause I'm trying to get blow. While I throw another roll, man, the diamonds on the body make the girls get rowdy. Got the goons in the building with the guns on they body. Better party before we kill somebody, man. Fuck your couch, spillin' rose out the mouth. So that nigga over there, where that money at, nigga, why you stayin' over here? Cause it's getting kinda heavy. It's getting kinda heavy. It's getting kinda heavy. It's getting kinda heavy. Now go and bring it back. 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 Little mama, don't be afraid, cause we foolin', just be glad we ain't shootin'. Only thing we wanna do is throw money to the roof, You see it, money to the roof. Another 20 on the table, 50 killers in the club, 100 bottles for the crew. Each hand got a bottle while we flirtin' with some models. If she act all bougie, we gon' spray it with some bottles. Quick flip is a model. Big chips what we follow. Why you think the girls follow? Why you think the girls swallow? Much money in the air, falling down like what? Why you think I can't see? Who else is up in the club, handful of dead bread? So mommy play dead. Watch me throw this bread, cause it's getting kinda heavy. It's getting kinda heavy. It's getting kinda heavy. It's getting kinda heavy. Now go and bring it back. 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 Little mama, don't trip cause the club is closing. We got condos, we can party the morning. I know you been shaking all night long, and I need you for the after party. You with it? You can bring every girl in here dancing. I give you about a minute. Tell me, is you with it right now? We got money and we tryna spend all of it. Think about it. Pool in the back with a waiter for the pool. Got drinks all night, man. I'm living my life. Playboy lifestyle. Got girls in bikini. Go cold to the caramel. All Superman and dolphins in the party going in with a whole lot of bottles. Cause it's getting kinda heavy. It's getting kinda heavy. It's getting kinda heavy. It's getting kinda heavy.
All right, so back at the Mike Fiore show, and again, that was Champagne City, guy over there, and the track was "Bring It Back." That was a very nice track. And what I'm thinking about your music is I'm really feeling your spirit and your soul. That's what I'm feeling in these tracks. I'm feeling some real shit, like, you know. So I'm really digging it. But I'm gonna get back to, because we're gonna get to the music. I want to get back to the before you got to this point. You know, while all this stuff is going on, like, so your sole income, have you ever had a job at this point, or was your job robbing, stealing, and selling?
Why you start off? You can't start off with the robbing. You gotta throw the robbing in like second or third.
Second, third. So 7.
So those sounds so like we wasn't really robbing too much. We kind of got a little bit smarter around this time. Robbing is when we was just super young. It just really, it was really different. Like it got a little bit better in like 9th grade, as far as how my mom was. You know what I mean? My mom, she had a job. You know what I'm saying? You know, she was trying to do a little bit better.
Right.
This time, you know what I mean?
So she became more stable. So did you guys.
Nah, she just became more stable. We was already unstable by then.
Right. But nothing changed as far as just she became stable and became more aware of things in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, were you making good money doing this stuff at this time?
We was doing a lot of traveling, and you know what I'm saying? Like I just went to so many high schools because I kept getting put out, but man, we was traveling. We didn't linked up, you know what I mean? Like let me see, how can I say this? Like we linked up with better connections of people. So they honed on our skills. It got to a point where like one of the OGs, like he kind of sat us down and he was like, you know, we got to be real. So the real was this. Well, the pureness of the streets of what you're really gonna do is this is how we're gonna teach you. It'd be like, okay, so Mikey, we're gonna say you, Mikey, you a thinker, but you're not really into violence and shit like that. So you're going to school. I don't give a fuck what you do. You're going to school. If we catch you on the street, we're gonna beat the shit about you, and we're gonna have everybody make sure that your ass go to school. They'd be like, okay, City, you like to shoot. You ain't got a problem with robbing. You ain't got a problem with doing nothing. So you'll probably be in the hitman section of what we got going on. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna teach you how to kill people without getting caught. We're gonna teach you how to prey on people. We're gonna teach you how to breathe like the person you want to take. We're gonna teach you how to eat like the person you want to take. We're gonna teach you how to get over your nerves after you have to take care of this person. Then it'd be like, you over there, okay, you pretty good with what you're doing, but you're not a killer, you're not a robber, you're not really a thinker. We're gonna teach you how to cook dope. So now we're gonna teach you how to put dope together. We're gonna teach you how to bag it. We're gonna teach you how to store it. We're gonna teach you how to move it. And like, you know, it sound fucked up, but it's the mathematics of why you got some OGs who never even got caught, and some OGs who was able to actually retire from the streets, because unlike a lot of these young boys, we was taught what to do. Yeah. Like whatever we was comfortable with doing, we was taught what to do. We was all asked the question of how much time you think you could do. At the time, me and Jonah, we was like, man, we got 20 years and we don't give a fuck. Wow. We'll be coming home 30. You like, we didn't give a fuck because we didn't give a fuck. Right. So it was like, okay, since you don't give a fuck, we're gonna teach you to let your time equal out to your money. It was some people like, man, I ain't trying to do no jail time. Okay, well, you're not gonna be part of nothing that's gonna get you over a year. Yeah, they're gonna be somewhere else doing something else. And it's just the intelligence of the streets. You know what I mean? When you got an OG over you, an OG gonna keep it real with you. Some people, they might listen to this part and they might be like, you know, that's just insane, but it's not insane. Right. If you think about it, you got people who grew up on like horse farms and their family was in livestock and shit like that. They look at their kid and they see that their kid is not really in livestock, but you see what your kid is able to do. Yeah. So you see that your kid like basketball, you're gonna invest in your kid playing basketball. You're gonna take him to camps. You're gonna buy him a rim. You're gonna buy him the best basketball that he can shoot around with. You're gonna buy him sneakers. Yeah. You know, that he'll be able to break in and play with for indoor and outdoors. Like, you're gonna buy him all the right necessities that he need and put him in a place where he can be the best basketball player he is. Well, if you don't have that over you, the streets will have OGs that's going to teach you how to do these type of specific things. Sure, sure. And then that's how you get, you know, talented in what you're doing, and that's how you lack the fear of doing stuff when you got somebody that's over you like a father. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's telling you, listen, if you shoot somebody, you're going to be scared. But that ain't shit. because your nerves is what gets you in trouble.
Yeah.
You learn that your nerves is what gets you past everything. If you don't got no nerves on shit, you never get in trouble. Most killers who don't have nerves and shit, the only time they get caught is when they open up to their fucking woman, or they make a legitimate excuse or make a mistake of I cannot be caught.
Yeah,
I can't get in trouble. That's
did you have girlfriends at this point?
Man, I had a lot of hoes. What you mean?
I mean girlfriends though, like girls you actually
had
dated.
a lot of hoes, man.
Right.
They was all my girlfriends. I'm gonna see, like, I didn't learn nothing from my father, but I did learn this from being around him sometimes. Is that every woman that you with, that's your woman. Whether she's the next manhole, whatever, when she's with you, that's yours. You know what I mean? You treat her accordingly, so she'll treat you the same way.
Right. Well, like you said, though, most people that were getting busted or getting in trouble because the woman was squealing on them too.
I never told a woman nothing in my life.
Anything she didn't need to know, you didn't tell her.
No, the only woman that knew anything in my life was my oldest son's mama.
Right.
That's just because we robbed together.
Right.
You know, but other than that, she didn't know nothing.
And again, you know, you could turn on the news and you can hear how they sugarcoat the streets of Detroit, because you know how I was looking at Detroit is just poverty, drugs, you know, crime, all the homes and businesses out of business. Like, but I didn't know what's actually happening. I just like, man, that place is fucked up. I'm going to stay away from Detroit. Like people, you know, from watching news and stuff, and I was afraid to go to Detroit for many, many years. Like I didn't want nothing to do with Detroit. And I think most of America got the stigma of Detroit and how it was, but there was other shit going on. There really was.
I mean, it's beautiful shit everywhere. Just like New Orleans, we killing every day in New Orleans, and we fighting every day in New Orleans, and it's the Big Easy. It's the most fun. It's the best place to live. You get the best food. You get to dance in the middle of the street. You got fucking brass bands, you know, going crazy, and second lines, and you know, Fat Tuesday. You got Daiquiri King. I mean, like,
yeah.
It's you know, what they say is two sides of everything. It's good, it's bad, it's black and white. I mean,
yeah.
It's just what part you focus on.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. A lot of people are brainwashed to focus on some other shit that's really not, you know, it's not comparing to what else is going on in this world. I mean, it really isn't. I'm one of them. You know, I was brainwashed into being a certain way, and if I seen a certain person, I judged those motherfuckers. I was a very judgmental kid growing up, but at the same time, I also don't really give fuck because I had a lot of issues going on in my own life and I was kind of doing my own thing, but I can look at somebody and judge them in 2 seconds just by looks, and 9 out of 10 times I was wrong because I never understood what that person went through before I judged them.
You know what though? I bet you wasn't wrong. I bet you, see what the thing is, like when you judge somebody, you probably judging the side of them at the time that they probably was like that. Well, when I was always taught, you know, you gotta judge somebody in the instant, and you gotta live by that judgment because that's how you able to survive when you moving in these streets.
Yeah,
and you're dealing with all these different personalities and all these slickers. So I always said I've never judged anybody wrong because it's a point at time that it probably was like that.
Yeah,
because this is how you survive in life. We all live by instinct. So your instinct was, this is how this person is. Yeah, you might have noticed it from either watching TV or dealing with people. And they like, listen, there's a lot of people like that. Believe it or not, they wasn't wrong. They was exactly right. But you probably didn't ran across them at a different part of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So at this point, Waverly Jones, he's on a mission to be murdered and killed himself, to be honest with you. I mean, you listen to the story, like, how has this guy survived to this point doing the things he's doing?
I was Polo Slim at this time.
What's Polo Slim?
Yeah, that was that boy. Polo Slim was that boy in the streets right there. That was my name.
Did you ever go back? I mean, did you revisit? Were you ever curious about Waverly Jones and where he was going to go in the future? Or were you always stuck in the moment and that was that? I
was always stuck in the moment.
Right. So
you don't think about no future.
Yeah. So when and how did this Champaign City, where did he come from?
Believe it or not, like, I got into like a little trouble with Polo Slim, so I couldn't use Polo no more. You know what I mean? Like it was just bad. It was a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. Actually, I was going by Polo Slim when me and Benny Siegel and all of us got into that big fight in Toronto way back in the day, right before Benny Siegel had to do that time. And so the name Polo, pretty much after that situation, just didn't use it no more. But
how different was Polo from Waverly?
Shit, Polo shoot you right in your fucking mouth for anything.
Comparing.
Fuck no, because my thing was this: Polo Slim, his mindset was he's a gangster. So I'm opening doors for women. You know what I'm saying? I'm like opening doors for older ladies. I'm looking out for children. You know what I mean? I'm like, even people who bought dope off me, I used to buy their kids Christmas gifts. I used to bring food for Thanksgiving. Like, they love me. Like, my people, they love me. When I quit selling dope, they quit smoking dope. You know what I mean? So Polo Slim everything was being a gangster. It was about, I want you to have the most respect for me. I want you to be the person that if I ever got in trouble, that everybody came together with letters saying how good of a guy that I am. And everybody buy drugs off me. Everybody that came to court who spoke for me bought drugs off me.
Wow.
That's how respectable I was.
Wow.
But if you disrespect me, I'm going to do everything possible so that you will never disrespect anybody again in your life.
Wow. So you were, I mean, at the end of the day, you were teaching lessons about respect.
Yeah, I mean, because that's how I was taught.
Yeah.
Everything I went through in life was a lesson, and I felt like this how it was. This how you supposed to be. Like, if you're going to be a street guy, like, that's why I said, like, even with the music, like, before we even get to Champagne City, I ain't want to fucking rap.
Right.
I thought every rapper was weak as fuck.
Right.
I ain't give a fuck how gangster you said you was. You weak as fuck.
When you're hearing them rap about their stories of the streets and shit, you were like, that's fucking bullshit? Or were you like...
I was like, that's some fucking bullshit, because we out here living that you can't talk. You can't talk it.
Yeah.
Because the police was always coming around the corner. The feds was always knocking on the door. Anytime you speak over the phone, you do some shit like this, the feds was coming. So in my fucking mind, I'm like, how the fuck is you putting this shit and selling it?
Yeah.
This shit can't be real.
Yeah.
Or you know, you gotta be talking about somebody else's story. I'm not thinking like the actual artist is actually doing this shit. Yeah. But I love spitting though. I always was rhyming and shit. But I was like, man, I ain't gonna be no fucking rapper. Fuck rappers. Them niggas is weak. They're not really out here like this doing this shit. But then when I met Benny Siegel, you know, I kind of learned that it is some artists that's fucking out here. Yeah. You don't know the difference. Yeah. They don't know how to shut the fuck up. Yeah. You always know you gotta shut the fuck up. You don't talk about what you do to nobody.
So you and him were good friends at one time, or still are? Or?
Nah, we was just like, I was just around him and shit. Like, right. We had mutual acquaintance and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I can't really go in depth to how I knew it like a lot of people, but it was always somebody who knew somebody, you know, who knew somebody.
Right. So when did City come into play? Man, and why was City born? I mean, you already got into that a little bit, but
no,
City different from
was always there. My grandfather always called me City. Because with me getting in so much trouble, I'd be bouncing from this city to this city. So he just used to call me Mr. City. Like, Mr. City, where you at right now? And Mr. City, what you doing? And, Mr. City this and Mr. City, So City was there since I was a young boy. Right. I just didn't really phantom it until he got, start getting sick. And somebody heard him call me City. And they were like, damn, nigga, that should be a rap name. Right. And I'm still going, man, ain't no fucking rapper, man. What's wrong with you, man? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you were still writing at this. I mean, you wrote a lot because your mother was making you write. You had interest in writing at this point.
My brother made me write, man. My brother Phil, how I really even got two scenarios of how I even start writing music. It was this dude named Osa who used to do the Jamaican joints in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta getting money, probably like 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? That's how I got my first house on Glenwood and Ridgeland at 18 years old. I was going to this spot called the Peacock, doing freestyle battles and shit, just going crazy on niggas. Cause that's just what that's just what I used to do. It was like a natural thing. And also I was like, man, you need to start writing down what you say, cause you're gonna forget everything. At the time, I was kind of remembering everything that I said, but he told me to write down everything, so I just started like kind of writing down lyrics, but I wasn't doing anything in a song formation. It was just like how my essays was, just a fucking full page of just rhymes and shit bunched in together. But then my brother Phil, you know, fucking with my mama, he used to have me write rhymes when I got in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cause you know, like my brother,
you'd have to rap about the trouble you got in, or
yeah, the trouble I got into and shit like that. So that's how I got into the rhyme, and then he started having me writing battle rhymes and shit like that. And we talking like, man, when I was a young boy, man, doing this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Cause he used to do music, so he used to make me do it. Cause he used to say that, you know, after I write, he could tell the relaxation on me. Cause he know that if he said, I need you to write in a journal, I'm say, come on, man, I'm too street for that. I ain't writing no fucking journal.
Right. So
to make it easier, write a rhyme. You know what I'm saying? I even thought my brother Phil was weak, but he was for real, you know, about what he did. But like, nigga, you a fucking rapper, nigga. Come on, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's how I even got into it, because of those two. You know,
were you looking at this might possibly get you out of your situation, or your situation didn't even bother you at this point?
Man, I ain't give a fuck about rap.
Right.
I was in the streets. I knew that this was my life. I kind of felt like, you know, in life, the cards that you dealt is what you dealt. You got to make the best of them. So
you were content with that lifestyle.
Yeah, and I try to perfect it. Everything I did was me perfecting, being the best I could be in the streets.
So I mean, because obviously there was a change in your life. When there was some point in your life when you had to start thinking differently. Because if you didn't, I believe you would have been dead at this point, personally. Or you're saying no because you were so good at what you were doing. But
it was all about perfecting what you was doing. Like even when I got shot, it wasn't because it wasn't my fault. It was because of a family member, and they just seen me and they shot me. Anything that I ever did, it was like they really didn't know if I did it or not.
Right.
But when I got hit up, it was because of that. You know what I'm saying? It was because of my cousin. You know, he did some foul shit, and it was over a woman. It had nothing to do with no street shit.
Right.
My cousin and robbed this dude 100 times, but when my cousin fucked this dude girl, that was it.
That was it.
That was a fucking boiling point, and that's how I got hit up. But
how many times you been shot or stabbed, would you say?
I've been shot 3 times. I've been stabbed about 4, but like only one of the stabbings was serious.
Right.
I mean, but you know, not to get off track, but like you know, being in the streets, it's like any type of corporation or what you do. You're gonna study what you're doing. You're gonna study it. You're gonna try to look for the best people that can teach you. You're gonna try to see what can you do to perfect what you got going on. And I mean, that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? And it just, for some reason, no matter what city I went to, no matter what state I went to, like, music was always there. I was always ending up on stage doing an open mic or some shit like that. Like, after I leave the stage, after I write a rhyme or I leave the stage or leave the studio, I go to sleep.
Right.
Like, it takes everything from me. It's like my God, my dad. It's like my therapy. You know what I'm saying? It's like crying for a fucking hour and shit or some shit. Like, your body just, you're done. You're sleepy.
So at this point, is music changing your life at this point? At this point,
music is changing my life, but I didn't fucking know it.
Right.
I'm too busy thinking of the negative shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So could you think back and think of, there was one instance, I don't know if it was somebody getting murdered, music, a certain thing, somebody passed away, and you're like, what was the biggest changing thing in your life? Kids? I don't know.
Well, if you want to go to the biggest change in music, I wrote about it. I said, My mama seen a special on Kanye's mom, and my mama bragged to her friends about what he did. And my mama said, my son do the same damn shit. And girl, I could see him all over the world. Well, after that, I went back. I said, well, after that, I went back to put the pen down. I told, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like my mama, you know what I'm saying? My mama, I seen a smile on her face, and it was a smile that I ain't never seen. It was like when your son graduate or some shit like that, you know, because I ain't never graduated nothing. So it was like the first time in my life. And I'm talking about, man, I done took my mom on trips, and I done, you know, paid her house off. I done big shit.
Right.
My fucking mom heard my music. Man, she fucking smiled, man, and it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? The video is on YouTube. It's called Fiore, and it's me and Nefertiti, and we going off that Drake beat. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, it was just, man, my guy. I didn't know what to do.
So you're saying like, that was a big change in your career?
Man, that was it made me start thinking about music, but I still wasn't really on it, but it made me start like thinking about it. It was like Kanye's mom brought my mom to the reality of stuff. Because my mom, that was the first time my mom got to actually see like another artist's mother talk about her son. And so my mom thinking I'm traveling, I'm not telling my mom what I'm doing. Now this whole time my mom thinking I'm traveling for music. Right. That was my line. Like, right. Yeah, I gotta dip out, take care of this, you know, music and all this, but I wasn't doing music at all. And when I came back home, she was talking about this special she seen on Kanye's mom, and oh man, this and that. Then she was on the phone. I'm upstairs. It's so crazy. I'm upstairs. I'm breaking this fucking gun down that I just got. I'm trying to clean it or whatever. And I'm hearing my mama in the kitchen. And she like, girl, you know, this boy Wave, he Wave Lou traveling the world, and he doing all this. Because believe it or not, I did do the Rock the Mic tour. Right. I did Up and Smoke tour. You know what I mean? With this DJ named DJ Bionic, man. And I mean, I still didn't give a fuck about music at all. I didn't give a fuck about being with Jay-Z and all. I didn't give a fuck about none of that. I was a street guy. That's what I was doing.
But you said it was also therapy for you.
It was also therapy for me, but the streets was even more, was therapy too. Right. And but the music was just the only other outlet that made me feel good. Right. But being in the streets made me feel fucking awesome. I loved it. It was exciting. But hearing my mom brag on the phone, like, yeah, girl, he traveling the world and he doing all this, like, man, that shit kind of took my breath away. Like, I'm sitting here, you know, getting ready to, you know, leave again, and I'm upstairs cleaning the motherfucker gun on some gangsta ass shit, I'm crying. Oh, my mama, my music, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm excited, like, what the fuck? My mom loved my shit. Cause my shit was real. Like, first time my mom heard my music, she started crying. Wow. I'm talking about how my mama was on her hands and knees cleaning the feet. I said my mama on her knees cleaning for the white folks. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, she steady cooking for the white folks, and she was doing, cause my mom, you know, she was a maid too. Right. She cleaned people's houses, and I used to be with her, and I'd be playing with these kids in these rich ass houses and shit like that. And it still wasn't a fucking reality to me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why I say it's like you see something on TV, you see it, it still ain't no fucking reality, because reality is when we leave this house, we walk into the fucking bus stop, waiting for the fucking bus to come to catch the bus to a house where ain't no fucking food. Yeah. So the shit ain't real. Everything was like a fucking movie to me. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, did you ever wonder when you left your house at all if you were ever going to make it back, or you didn't even think?
Man, you don't think about that. You know for a fact you're making it back.
Right. So you're just one track mind. You're going there. This is how you're doing. You come back. Nothing else is getting in the way.
And that's just it. Ain't nothing else gonna change.
So maybe your mom. You think your mom was crying because when she heard your music first, you think maybe she was thinking in her head, my son's finally found something that's going to get him out of where he's at.
No, she was crying because it was the reality of how we was living. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so she was crying because of your lyrics.
She was crying because of the lyrics. Just like, I don't talk about my life. Right. I don't be opening up to people. I'm open up to you. This shit fucking feel like an Oprah moment or something. You done had a nigga crying in every motherfucking thing.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, you know, because I don't care, but it's like that's what your lyrics do.
Yeah.
You listen to your lyrics and you listen to what you're saying and it puts you back to that moment. My mom, she never thought about what she was doing to get money. She knew she had to feed us.
Yeah.
What she did.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take our last music break and then we're going to start getting to the end of this thing. But again, I find it very amazing that you are opening up to me and are speaking about things that I would assume you would never thought you would be doing in a million years, because you really don't give a fuck what people think. You're doing your thing. But my main reason for wanting to really do this, man, because I really think a serious power of what you've been through is also going to be a power of influence at some point in your life. I mean, because I already know you've influenced the fuck out of my life. I thought I'd done seen it all and met all kinds of incredible people and amazing people. But again, whew, man, I'm like blown away by these things. And I know, I'm assuming it must be hard for you because you're putting yourself out there. And that's not something you care to do on a normal basis, on a regular basis, shall I say. But I appreciate this, really. And I'm 100% positive people are going to come away with this with something. That's for damn sure. But we're going to take another music break. Again, we have this guy, Champagne City, and the song's called Questions.
Don't fuck with niggas no more. What's up? Huh? Hell yeah, I fuck a nigga bitch at the same damn time. Send my niggas in his crib. Goddamn Champagne, think you starting off trip? Hell nah, motherfucker, I'm about to answer all the questions. Answer number one. Hell yeah, I like my dick sucked. I like my knots all at hundreds. A nigga only cop powder, cause once I get to cooking, I'ma whip a Eddie Bauer. Answer number four. I kicked in a few back doors, wasn't really shit, but Jonah had a neck for it. Answer number five. Hell yeah, niggas still cry watching niggas die in this motherfucking street life. Let me see about 30 bricks, only 4 was mine, the other was my man's shit. I hope Jonah up in heaven, cause he gotta talk to God about the way a nigga living. He gotta talk to God. Next fucking question. See how niggas want all these questions answered. I hope y'all niggas can take the truth. Shit, you know I ain't high. I'ma give you what you want. It's the fucking truth. Hell yeah, nigga cried when my mama died. Smoked the whole zip, asking God why my mama died. You know that? Sure your mama gone to a better place. I can see her now, she got a smile at the pearly gate. Back to the question, okay, what's the next one? Answer number 8. Hell yeah, nigga had to run, gun got jammed, and them niggas came to kill some. Answer number 9, I ain't beefing with the east side. Number 10, it's all true what you heard, so got a little girl and a white baby mama. Answer number 11, hell no, I won't answer that. If I answer that, I might as well be a fucking rat. Nigga 12, hell yeah, I'm an east side ESB. All you gotta do is ask me. That's number 13, you know I had hoop dreams. That's why I break the brick down all the ball schemes. Shit, know that. You niggas still want answers to these questions, huh? Shit is so sad. Fucking grown men keep asking about other grown men. Shit is sad, nigga. Shoot. Hell yeah, I hit the globe with the dope bowl. Got my brother James in my ear like you gotta change. But James don't understand I'm feeding family. With the right plug, I can feed the whole galaxy. Dope boy, yeah, that's me. Stay fat boy fresh. Oh yeah, that's me. Answer number 14. Oh yes indeed, I seen a nigga in the Dakota get killed over water. Answer number 15. Started off about 11, got caught in the 6th grade fucking with the animal. Answer number 16. My mama was a trap queen. Answer number 17. My daddy was a trap king, but he was a pimp too. Probably one reason that I keep a couple hoes too. Answer number 18. Still trying to get through just the whole fact that I can't get Jonah back. Answer number 19. Man, I want my mama back. Man, I want my mama back. What's the next question? Shit. No, y'all answer my question.
Champagne City Questions. I guess that was one of my favorite tracks because, again, you keep going in your music about passion, but, you know, I'm also used to hearing a lot of rappers rap about bullshit that ain't real. So I know when I hear your shit, you're talking about real things. Like, I ain't hearing jewelry, and I ain't hearing all this bullshit in your music. I'm hearing real life stories. I think that's what separates you from most other artists. And I also believe probably a lot of these artists that are rapping about that bullshit, City, probably don't want you around because your shit's real and theirs not. That's my guess. I could be wrong, but that's my guess.
Well, you could be right.
I mean, at the end of the day, because I don't want, you know, if I'm doing music and writing about something that ain't real, I don't want the real motherfucker sitting next to me.
Well, my biggest problem, okay, like, so now we in the music industry, and I noticed my biggest problem is that of course you're not gonna sit there and tell everybody your whole life story and shit like that, so they understand where you're coming from. You figure when you link up and you give each other the mutual agreement on respect, that's what it is. But like I said, you got to understand that what's real in this day and age is different than what you might consider real. Mm-hmm. Some people actually go by the real definition of what real is. The real definition of a street code is only one street code. You ask somebody nowadays, they'll say it's a different street code because with the different changes. That's the problem right now.
Yeah.
There's certain things in life that's not supposed to change.
Yeah. Respect
is not supposed to change. There's only one sign of respect. So in the industry, the type of person that I am, I can't suck dick. I mean, I'm not gay.
Yeah.
I mean, I eat some pussy. Don't get me wrong. I like eating pussy, actually. You know what I'm saying? You want to be real about it. I like eating pussy and I love sucking on titties. I like pulling hair and all that old crazy shit. So I'm not gonna do that with no man because I'm not like that. So when another man feel like I'm supposed to be underneath him and letting him fuck me over, it's not gonna happen. I always got my own shit.
Yeah.
I always paid my own bills. I always struggled, you know what I'm saying, and got through the struggles through myself, even if I was with somebody.
Yeah.
So, you know, I met a lot of these industry cats and it's not the same thing. They want you to go to the store. They want you to run them here, drive them here. Nigga, I can't drive you, man. I can't keep driving you. Like, I'll take you somewhere because you my man.
Yeah.
But ain't nobody about to drive all day. Well, in the industry, they get upset. They feel like you just want something from them. My thing is this. Okay, Mike, let's say this, right? You do music. Say I own Def Jams. You write music. Why the fuck am I sitting here calling you every day, talking to you about my problems of being the exec, owning Def Jam and all these fucking artists that I'm signing and giving them money and all these other artists that I'm dealing with that write music and you fucking write music.
Yeah.
And I ain't done shit for you.
Yeah.
After a while, you're gonna be like, okay, you know, City, you my mans and shit, but hey, I don't want to hear that shit. I'm struggling to be a songwriter and you own the fucking company that you can put a nigga on.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, well, why are you talking to me like that? You're supposed to be listening to my problems.
Yeah.
The fuck would a man want to listen to some problems that he trying to get to where you at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how this fucking industry works. And they don't like it when you tell them that shit.
Well, and like I said to you earlier, I don't believe, I'm not in the music business. I'm in my own business because the music business is fucked up. Like, I don't want to be part of that. I want to be part of my own movement with the people I work with and trust and love, and I know they do the same back with me. But the second I get involved with all these other people, that's when your name gets tarnished. That's when your vision gets tarnished and everything else. And at the end of the day, when they fuck up tarnish all your shit, they disappear and leave you behind. There's no loyalty. Like, you growing up on the streets and you're about respect. You want to get in the music business, you ain't gonna find a lot of respect in the music business.
No.
You know what I mean? It's a bitch. It's a motherfucker trying to find real people in this industry. That's why I believe you got to create your own movement and your own thing. Uh-huh. And don't get wrapped up with what this guy could do for you, because you're an intelligent guy. If you can figure out how to cook up crack and do this and do that, you could certainly figure out how to get your music out there.
But you know what's so crazy? You can get your music out there, but the hate is so strong in this music game. People fight for you not to be successful.
Yeah.
That's why like I always argue 2012 is a year that I said, you know what, I'm gonna be a rapper for my mother. And I'm gonna try to figure out a way to get this rap money for my children.
Yeah.
In 2012, my mother was already sick. So every time I left and was getting something popping, I always had to come back home, take care of my mother. And
you were this close several times too.
Yeah, a lot of times. And I had to just call it quits because my mother, you know what I'm saying? Like, and people didn't understand the impact of the type of person that I am, but I'm very passionate. Like, if I tell you my mother is sick and you say, yeah, but you need to be here, you just told me fuck my mother. Now, how do you want me to react to that? I'm not going to yell at you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to snap on you, but I can't talk to you. And I'm going to tell you like this. Listen, what you just said was very disrespectful, and I apologize for wasting your time, but this ain't going to work between us because you basically told me fuck my mother.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I'm going to give you a little time.
Handle your business.
I'm going to fuck with you. You saying, but what about next week? Nigga, my mama ain't going to be good next fucking week. If I tell you she on dialysis, dialysis don't stop in a fucking week. Actually, you go 3 times a week.
Yeah.
How the fuck is I'm supposed to, you know what I'm saying? That's how you want to react, but you still got to be this gentleman. You still got to give the respect, even though you constantly being disrespected.
Yeah. And at this point in your life, you also got kids.
I got kids.
You got kids. Have any of your brothers passed at this point?
Man, I got 3 brothers that passed at this point, man. You know, my brother Jonah just got killed 2 years ago. 11 months after my brother Jonah got killed in front of his kids, my mama, I had to pull the plug on my mama. I had to sit there and watch my mama take her last breath. It took my mom 5 hours and 14 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take her last breath.
You had just moved to Atlanta at this point, I remember.
I just moved to Atlanta.
You were writing music for a show or something like that. You had a lot of stuff going on.
I was writing for Empire at the time. I had a deal with Adidas on the table. I had another deal in the works. And I got a call like, you know, we about to start your mama on dialysis. So, I mean, I had to pack my shit up and go because don't nobody take care of my mother.
Yeah.
I was the only man taking care of my mama.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's nothing I can do. You know, my oldest son, I got custody of him. His mother's in prison. You know what I mean? Pray to God she be home within a year. But, you know, I got responsibilities. And that's my thing because I'm dealing with a lot of these rappers. I'm writing hooks for them. I'm helping their career pop off. And at the same time, we talking about what's going on in my life.
Yeah.
I think when I left to take care of my mother, the motherfuckers was reaching out to me. Fuck no. You know what I mean? One thing that I do love is that they taught me that in this music game, you better get yours.
Yeah.
You better get yours first too.
Yeah. And
there's no way around that.
Yeah. And to me, a lot of this story that I've been building up to today, you know, I know very little bit about you, but I also know, man, your loyalty has been impeccable. I also know you've been through a hell of a lot of shit and refuse at this point in your life to go back to that place. Like even, you know, when you came to Detroit and I met you at, what was it, Eminem Rihanna after party, right? You've been kind of trying to do things right at that point in your life. Okay?
Yeah, I just quit selling dope.
Right.
At June.
You had promised your mother these were things you were going to do, right?
Yeah, I told my mom I'd never sell dope again.
So
never shoot nobody.
Yeah.
I said I would never kill nobody again. I said I ain't gonna do none of that shit no more.
And to me, when we met there, we had a situation that came up where you spent pretty much last year money on this computer, this laptop computer, this Mac, and you were helping us download film footage to your Mac. Well, we had to go in the basement with the shit, and we left your computer unattended. And then somebody came and stole your computer, right?
No, let's tell the story like this. The guy who was running the Fillmore said that it was all right and it was safe.
Yeah.
That my laptop was there, and that's why we did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And somebody stole my shit. You know what I mean? And
at that point, I was like, you know, and I didn't really know much about your past till after, because this story really didn't affect me until even after the fact. But you're trying to do the right thing, okay? And all of a sudden someone jacks the one prized possession you have right now that you're holding on to dearly. You didn't flip out. I remember the cops came there, and the only thing you were saying is, I was very grateful. I'm pissed off about my computer getting stolen, but I'm very grateful that I didn't catch the person in the middle of stealing it. Okay? And I was like, holy fuck. That was like, you know, anyone else, I probably would have been flipping out. You know, I probably would have been grabbing people and throwing people around. I don't know. But you kept your composure and said, it is what it is. I'll get past this situation, right? And so then now fast forward a little bit. After that, did your brother pass before this or after that?
My brother passed. He passed before that. It was my mother that passed after.
It was your mother that passed after that. And this whole time, I'm knowing what's going through your head. And, you know, the moral of the story here for me is, the inspiration I get from it is, here's a guy who's been through hell, okay? Whether you see it as hell or not, it's not a pretty life that you've had to endure, okay? And to me, you made a promise, you made a pact to your mother. And I wasn't sure if you were going to fall off that or not, because especially after your mother had passed away, I know how important she was to you in your life, and how much that hurt, and how much love you had for her, and how much love she had for you. I was like, man, is this guy a city? Am I going to lose city? And is he going to go back to his old ways? And to me, the biggest thing that really inspires me, and I use your story to a lot of people, this motherfucker is still fighting the fight. Because to me, the biggest thing is, it would be easier, much easier for you in life to go back to all that other bullshit. Much easier than what you're going through now. And to me, City, I don't even know if you realize it, but that's some serious shit. Like, to me, there's not many motherfuckers as strong as you out there in this world, because you can go back to this easy bullshit. You can, to me, cooking crack, robbing, shooting, whatever, that's easy compared to what the struggles you're going through now. And I'm not even sure if you realize how huge this is for you, many other people that might not acknowledge what you're doing around you, your kids. Like, this is some big shit. Fuck the music business. This is life. And to me, City, I get goosebumps thinking about what you're going through. And I pray every day that you make it through this, because, you know as well as I do too, life changes every day. You can easily fall back into that old bullshit, and you'll still be fine there, but this is incredible what you're doing over here. So all the things that you have done in life, to me, don't mean shit compared to what you're doing now.
It goes like, it just go like this, man. If you weak, you weak. If you strong, you strong. It don't matter what you go to, you just strong. They say every strong person go through a weak point in life. And that is very true. But I got 2 little boys. You know what I'm saying? I can't be broken.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I gotta teach my boys how to be men. You know, the problem with the way that I grew up is I never had a father.
Yeah.
I knew that I would have been a success in something, because it was already destined for me to be a success in something. You know what I mean? I can't even tell you how many artists that are popping because of me.
Yeah.
Songs that I wrote for them is the reason why they even made it to the charts and made it to the labels.
Can we name drop or no?
Nah, we can't name drop.
I thought I'd try. I don't think so.
You know what I mean? Like, I do want to name drop, but
nah, that's cool.
They still watch me though.
Yeah.
They still watch me.
Well, they're probably waiting to see if you're gonna blow their cover.
Yeah, but see, that's what they want to do. But then if I do that, then they gonna say what they want to say, and then I'm gonna go old school, because I'm not gonna let you disrespect me after you already shitted on me. You know what I'm saying? I can't allow that much to go on. But it's just like, whether God wanted music to be for me or what it's not. But one thing, and we definitely gotta make sure this shit pop, is that, my nonprofit organization is called Thank You. And I was working for a care home, and in the care home, like, these dudes' shoes was fucked up. Like, they toes is hanging out, shit like that. Man, I was only making $8.24 working at this care home.
Especially when you're used to making all kinds of money.
Man, listen, I'm talking about, man, I was, probably bringing in man, 20 to 30,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? On a week month.
Yeah.
Now I'm making $8.24. You know what I'm saying? And I'm taking care of children, doing what I can. But I was buying shoes for these, you know, for the less fortunate. You know, these guys, they could barely write their name, they could barely do anything, and they got people that's taking care of them and taking care of their money, and they spending their money on them.
Yeah.
You know, how unfucking fair is that shit?
Yeah.
So instead of like blowing the whistle and, you know, doing all this, calling the HIPAA act and all that, like, come, this shit ain't right, I just took it upon myself to buy shoes for them. Wintertime, I buy boots for them and stuff like that. So I decided, when I was just thinking, like, I know all these famous people, I need to start a nonprofit to be able to help the less fortunate. And like people say, you know, that I conversate with about it, like, well, you should start a nonprofit for, you know, kids who ain't getting nothing. Kids, I'm like, listen, it's people in care homes who are kids who got double the trouble because they can't tell what's right from wrong.
Yeah.
And people are actually using their money to do all this other stuff. So I wanted to start a nonprofit organization, you know, saying, called Thank You, where you donate shoes. And the shoes that you donate, you know, I'll clean them up. I don't give a fuck if it's 100, 1,000 pair. I'll clean them up and I issue them out to people. You know what I mean? I got it mapped out how I want to set up. But the whole key is, you know, that my first focus is people in care homes. You know what I mean? Taking care of these young kids that's in these group homes and care homes who has absolutely nothing.
Well, you said something to me too that really sparked my eyes. You know, you said the first time you gave a pair of sneakers to somebody, you seen the smile it brought on their face.
Man, the smile was like the same smile my mother had about my music.
Right. When
you get that smile from somebody, it's just something about it. You know what I mean? Because it was genuine.
Yeah.
Everything that I do, I like genuine stuff, man. That's why I love Miss LB, man. She was so genuine with me, you know what I mean? And these guys that I'm dealing with, they like from 30 years old. It was one guy 72 years old. I bought him dress shoes. There's one kid 15 and 16. You know, like, I don't even want to be their guardian angel. I just don't want them walking around with fucked up shoes when there's so many people out in this world who just buy shoes and just throw them in their closet, only wear them one time. It's like, spread the wealth. You know
I would love to be part of your organization because, first of all, I believe in it 100%, and I think it's a great situation for for you to, and I would love to be part of just giving back, especially spending some time in Detroit and seeing how rough it really is there. If there's anything I could do, anything any of these viewers can do, I guess we'll have to come back and show them where they can donate sneakers to. I mean, are you taking old pairs of sneakers or just new pairs, or you don't care as long as they got soles? You know,
just don't be disrespectful.
Yeah.
Don't send like your bottom, you've been cutting grass type sneakers in. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Just, something decent, man. Right. They don't want a lot. They just want something. They just want to feel, basically they just want to feel love. Yeah. That's what I named the nonprofit organization Thank You.
Yeah.
Because I'm speaking for them. They're not gonna be able to thank you, but when you send it in, it's like it's thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm thank you from the bottom of our heart because this is for real. You know what I mean? I can't afford anymore to just purchase sneakers, so I had to go a different route.
Yeah. And that's what I mean too. Like, for me, you went from making 30 grand on a week month to $8 an hour. How the fuck does a person stay focused, especially when you're making this $8 an hour? Everything is falling to shit behind you, and you still staying on that $8 an hour and doing the right thing. Like, are you telling your kids the stories about what you did, like your mother told you, or are they oblivious to a lot of things?
Yeah, I tell my kids. I don't tell them about the violence, but I don't even get a chance to, because if they somewhere and somebody saying, "Oh, you city son, man, your dad used to be out here," they do that bullshit. But I tell my kids, I let my kids see my struggle. I let my kids see my paycheck. I teach my kids how to pay bills. I let them see how the money get broke down.
Yeah.
I teach my kids, this is the reason why going to college, getting your bachelor's, then getting your master's. I teach my kids how to open your mind to owning your own business. And I teach my kids that whenever you say you're going to do something, you put everything that you have into that. Because a lot of people say, man, sometimes you put everything in and it don't work. Man, I believe that whatever you put into anything, it works. That's this dude from Pakistan a long time ago in a bodega said, you know why we come to America? I was like, why? Because we was cracking jokes. He said, because if you work hard enough, you can become a millionaire in America.
Yeah.
That's the only place you can do it.
Yeah. I believe, listen, I know plenty of foreigners that come to this country and they make fun of us that we can't figure it out.
Yeah.
They make fun of us. They're like, you Americans are dumb. They can't figure out how to be successful. They'd rather fight each other and do all these other things against the grain, you know. But, you know, and back to your foundation there, I mean, City, and I'm not sure if you're comfortable with this or not, but I really do believe all the shit you went through in your life, there's a calling for it. There's a calling. This is the reason why these things happen to you and the life you've had to live. I don't think you've seen, you haven't visualized what's yet to come. I can see it. I can see it clearly. I can see, you know, I'm not saying that's something you might want to even do, but you have a serious power of influence right now, greater than any music can influence any kid or anything else. It's some serious shit, City. I mean, it to me, like I said, I'm not using your story of inspiration to people for nothing. I really believe that it's some inspirational shit. You could go to schools if you could change one life. Hell, man, that to me, that's what it's all about. You're thinking sneakers. I think sneakers is just gonna be one fraction of it because you're just finding yourself. You didn't find yourself when you were a kid. You're finding yourself as an adult because then you didn't give a fuck. Now you give a fuck. That's a big difference.
I do give a fuck too.
Yeah, but what you went through and experienced, and even putting yourself out there because, you know, I don't know if you still have something to protect. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you putting yourself out here today, that's huge. I mean, that's huge. That's why I was nervous about this interview because I don't know if there's things out there you're protecting or whatnot. But the reason why I didn't give a fuck was because I know there's things you got to get out there right now. And to me, if I can have a small, tiny part of getting out your story, that's why I wanted this interview, because to me, it is amazing. Like I said, I start out with, it's a story about survival, death, survival again, and inspiration I ended with. And to me, there's no greater story than an inspirational story, City. And you can put on the TV and hear some reality bullshit, but this is reality. Not
Man, my thing with this, Mikey, everything people ask me, like people who do know my life, they say, you know, how do you sum up your life? And I always say, only thing, I just always wanted to be happy.
Yeah.
I could never find happiness. I never had a year, you know, where it was just happiness.
Yeah.
I went a year without somebody dying.
Yeah.
I just had 2 aunts die this year. I thought I was gonna go this year without any deaths in the family. But you know, the woman who me and my mama used to stay with, you know, she passed away.
Yeah.
You know, that was fucked up, you know what I mean? And I mean, it's, you know, even though it is life, you just want to be happy.
Yeah.
You just want to see some happiness. Seeing people make me happy. Like I always beat up the bullies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, from 13, from the situation that happened, that dude was a bully. He had to go anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had to go.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, you know, I'm gonna outdo the people who controlling these people money, who don't want to buy them nice things, don't want to put nice things on their feet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm beating the bully by opening up this nonprofit and getting people to donate shoes that I can give to them. You can't take their shoes away from them.
Yeah.
I won. Now they won. Cause now they don't fucking need you for the shoes. You keep they fucking money because they always gonna be fresh.
Yeah.
No matter what. You know what I mean? And that's just what I feel about it. That's one of the things that makes me happy. You know, me being able to be here and teach my boys, and my boys get to teach they homeboys and shit. Because like my people, I learned from like being around their parents and seeing they shit. So I wanted to always be that father who taught everybody. My son come with his homeboys, they learn a lot from me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I told you that, like I told you that one day, I was talking on the phone one day, and you were telling me all these people you're messing with in the music industry, and all the you were helping and writing. And I said, City, I said, man, just think about this. Think if you stop putting all your effort into all these people around you and put that same effort into yourself, I guarantee you other things and better things are going to happen. And I said it to you just in a normal conversation, and you had called me up and you said, man, that fucked me up when you said that. And you said that was a big, another changing point in how your thought process is going towards people you're working around in the music business. And I really believe that when you focus your energy into yourself, good things happen. And success, my friend, is not measured by money. It's success to me is measured by who you become at the end of the day. And to me, City, I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about your story and thinking about where you've been and where you're going. But the end has not been written yet. And so you still, I understand you have a lot in front of you. And, is something bad going to happen that's going to knock you off that horse? Or is that going to make you stronger? Because it seems like everything that's bad that's happened to you recently has made you stronger. I don't know if you realize this or not, but I talk to you and I see what's happening. You might disappear for a little bit, but I ain't thinking in the back of my head, he's out back and doing shit, because again, the easy thing is to go back to making 30 grand a month. That's easy. Having a fucking $8 an hour job and dealing with reality, that's the bitch in life. So that's, again, I'm very inspired by you, City. And I hope you keep it up. And you also know there's no guarantees in life, so you have to keep it up. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I would love to be part of your sneaker foundation. I would love to help, get you sneakers. If you got to go through my avenues, I would love to. However many avenues we got to go to, let's keep this thing burning, because there's a lot of beautiful things that are about to start happening and coming from this situation. One man's tragedy, let's turn it into a positive. Because to me, how you were raised and what was going on, or how you grew up, that's fucked up, buddy. I mean, it's not normal. You know what I mean? And for you to be standing here and saying, you know what, I'm doing it different now. To me, that's inspiring, buddy. That's very inspiring, man. I'm grateful for this opportunity. That's for sure.
I appreciate it also.
And we'll get into, listen, I'm also going to keep promoting your music. And at some point, there's going to be a thing that comes up where we're going to have to say, all right, City, I'm sending you over that contract. you got to sign it.
Hey, Mike, you in my life forever.
And I feel the same way. I really feel, even though we've only met in person a few times, I feel like I've known you my whole life. And like I said, there's a lot of people, people may look at you and I and say, I would never fuck with anybody like that. But let me tell you something. I've never met a bigger warrior and a loyal guy than yourself, City. So to me, I don't get wrapped up when other people think. And when you were talking about in music, how people may be judging you or thinking about you, whatever, I say fuck them, because they can't even hold a candle to nothing that you do, period. I don't care, because this is real life shit. You know what I mean? And to me, I'm very fortunate and blessed to have met you, and I appreciate everything you've brought into my life, and I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. You can't make this bullshit up. You know what I mean? This real man shit. So, I appreciate it, City, tremendously. All right, can I start calling you Waverly, man?
That was up to you to call me that. You can call me Waverly. I ain't got a problem with it.
Yeah, because we really did interview two people today. We got the City and we got the Waverly Jones part here. But
man, you even got to meet Polo Slim.
Yeah, and I never even knew about Polo.
Man, he don't come out. You don't come out no more.
Yeah, well, listen,
give him away from everything.
We're gonna get up out of here, because we've been. I mean, listen, I could talk to you for hours, and usually when we do get on the phone, it is a long time. Mm-hmm. Is there anything you want to say out there to people watching before we get out of here? Give them, how they can follow you and keep up with your foundation and all that, and your music.
Well, as far as the foundation, we still in the works for that. But the one thing that I want people to take out of this is that I don't care if you don't like anything that I said or anything that I've done or anything that I do, or anything that I care about is I want you to care about the Thank You Foundation from everything, because you ain't gotta like a person to help a person who want to help other people. All I want to do is just make sure, because it's just bad, man. And if you never worked in a care home and you never seen how people get treated, man, it's bad. It's fucking bad. Like they lucky that it's a legal situation, because if it was a street situation, a lot of this shit wouldn't even be going on. You know what I mean? But I just want this situation to be big. I don't care nothing about whether my music pop or not. This foundation is called Thank You. We still in the works of the paperwork. We're gonna get the emails going. We do got the P.O. box already, because there have been a few people sending shoes. And I get the P.O. box to you, so you can, go ahead and get that situated for anybody who want to send in shoes. And the thing is just please be respectable with the shoes that you send. Just focus on, just shoes if they regular. If you able to, to have money, to go buy shoes, just any type of sizes. It's multiple sizes, women's shoes, whatever, anything that you just have you don't want to wear, just please send it to the P.O. box. You know what I mean? You can write all of this stuff off. You know what I'm saying?
Boys, girls, younger people, older people, it doesn't matter. All sizes and all shapes.
Sizes, yep.
As long as they ain't been cutting grass.
Because it's just something about you cut grass, you got that big old green stain on the side of the sneaker. It's just ridiculous.
Well, give them a Twitter. Is there a Twitter or Facebook or some kind of handle people can follow you? Because I'm sure you're going to be tweeting about it at some point. And I will do the same. I think I have, 12,000 followers. So I'll be getting it out to them too.
Yeah, my everything is Champagne City. My Instagram, Champagne City. My Twitter is, I think it's @1 Champagne City. I'm pulling it up right now just to make sure.
And at the very least, too, we'll, when this show's over, we'll put the credits up below where they can find you too.
Yep, it's @1 Champagne City, ChampagneCity.
Yeah, he's putting it up for you too. So we'll get it on the replay of this show. We'll put it on the buffer there. Yep. And we'll get the word out, man. And I really hope a lot of people join in, because, like you said, the smile it puts on people's faces is amazing. And I'm really looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to music, and I'm looking forward to many years of our friendship, City. So I appreciate your time. I don't know if this was easy or tough or what, but I really appreciate what you did for me tonight, and also for many people that are going to be watching this shit, because I'm going to pound this video down people's throats. That's for sure.
Man, I appreciate everything, man.
All right, City. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Got the hood jumping without the dope. Got the hood shooting from words I quote. Young niggas popping like it ain't a thing. Seeing niggas die before they see 18. Made a nigga ride, I ain't losing mine. I'd rather die in jail before I lay on 9. Champagne City is the name to know. Mention my name and watch the crowd go. Mention my name and bring the fiends out. If you got a problem, what we talking for? If it is a problem, hope your team go. Cause my team is ready, man, they always go. Push it to the limit, keep a Nina Ross. Who in the hood love you, it ain't shit to ball. And the hood love me, you won't see me fall. Put me anywhere, watch a nigga ball. We talking about the streets, gotta mention me. Got the hood jumping, gotta mention me. Got them clubs jumping, gotta mention me. Money, Michigan, yeah, that is a thing. We talking about the streets, gotta mention me. Got the hood jumping, gotta mention me. Got them clubs jumping, gotta mention me. Money, Michigan, yeah, that is a thing. Champagne City, man, you know that nigga. I guarantee you, nigga, I'ma run that nigga. I guarantee you then, you gon' die, my nigga. If I don't kill you then for trying to rob me, nigga. I got the club going nuts, I got them killers in it. And them killers outside, all type of different rides. You don't know when it's coming, so let a nigga be.